Down in your house, Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Come to us for your news and opinions. We got a voice. There is no choice. Wisdom voice in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast, it's like cruiserweight action. Your house is the perfect distraction. Papa see your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Swallow.
What's up, guys? What's cracking? Hollywood House in your house. We're back. We're ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are ready to make a movie. I hope you guys are with the shits. We're with the shits. And we're ready to talk a little wrestling. That is right. You already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we here to give you that work when it comes to professional wrestling. And guys, you already know this is what we are here doing. I'm giving you guys a little bit of extra work here. It's that time where you would think it would be time for Hollywood solo shot, but we are not doing a solo shot this week here on In Your House because it is WrestleMania week, folks. Big weekend here with everything going on in Philadelphia. People are already hopping on planes. I know this for a fact. I know people are already hopping on planes, heading to Philadelphia, driving up to Philadelphia, getting their hotel accommodations ready for everything that's going to go down. It is Christmas for wrestling fans. That is, of course, WrestleMania, and it's WrestleMania 40 this coming weekend, Stand and Deliver. Also, you have a big Ring of Honor card, a lot of independent shows going down. It's going to be a vibe, y'all, an absolute vibe for wrestling in Philadelphia. And, of course, that's no different here In Your House. We feel that energy. We feel what's going on. We know it. And when I do that, I always know that it's a little bit beyond me. You got to go a little bit further than myself when it comes to giving y'all this work. When it comes to WrestleMania, it's WrestleMania. It's the biggest professional wrestling event of the year. So with that being said, I had to make sure that I brought in a guest here, and it's a guest we've had on the show before, and he comes to us when he gets a chance to, and he's been doing a lot of stuff. He's been doing music. He's been doing backstage videography for Emerge Wrestling. He does school as well. He holds that down, and that is my son, Alajuwon Howse. He's joining In Your House to talk a little WrestleMania 40 with us. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, Dad? How you been? How you been?
Oh, you should know. You see me all the time.
Well, yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just ready to talk some wrestling.
Absolutely. Welcome back to the show, man. It's been a while since we got a chance to have you on because you've been doing school. And I think the last time you was on, I don't think it was your last break. I think the last time you was on was like summer. So it's been a while since we've had you on.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure.
But I had to bring you on because I know that you've been on this road to WrestleMania with me, and I've been excited about it. You've kind of seen my excitement with everything that is going on. My guy, B. York, he is in the chat. He's going to be in Philly for Sunday. Super hype. Bro, you have a great time. Make memories. Have a blast. Like, for real, man. This is literally one of the best WrestleManias that we're walking into. And me and my son are going to talk about that here in a second. Hypocrisy Jones hype says, yo, what is up? What is up, bro? Appreciate you sliding through and chatting us up for a quick little second. Hopefully we can get you for a little bit longer because me and you have been talking a lot of WrestleMania. Now we get a chance to do some predictions here. And that's what we really want to do is do a fun little prediction show with myself and Alajuwon. And it's going to be a fun episode. I'm really excited about it to have him on and talk about that, man. But let me ask you, Alajuwon, as a young wrestling fan, and you're getting your feet wet in the business and just enjoying wrestling. Like, I know there was a time where you're like, oh man, this isn't what I thought it was, and I don't like this anymore. But then you came back to it and you appreciated it for different reasons. And I can say that because that's what I saw in real time watching you as a wrestling fan. So for me saying all that, I want to ask you, what has this uh, Road to WrestleMania been like for a young wrestling fan?
Um, I think like I think just kind of watching it at such a young age and watching past WrestleMania and Road to WrestleMania. I think this is one of the best in a couple of years. I feel like build-ups have been really great, and I feel like a lot of storylines have been great because of those build-ups. And I think that the quality of the matches are going to definitely hit as well. So yeah.
So you feel like so you're just basically saying you feel like the quality is going to be there. You feel like the vibe has been there. Is where do you rank this personally for you, Olajuwon, as far as Road to WrestleManias in your lifetime that you can remember Road to WrestleManias in your young life?
I think for sure this is one of the best ones, especially since this is like the first year that I'm fully tapped in for like wrestling and WrestleMania and everything.
Yeah, I feel you. No, I totally understand. And I remember when I was that age and being just completely tapped in. It was great time to be a wrestling fan when I was young. But it's a great time to be a wrestling fan when you're young as well. We have a whole card to talk about with WrestleMania. So before we get down and do this prediction show, which I'm really excited for, happy because you've been on wrestling road trips with me. You've been doing more work in wrestling. We've been doing a whole lot of fun stuff and moving back and forth. We've been trying different restaurants. It's been great. Like getting you on the road has been really fun. So let me ask you this: like, as far as this road to WrestleMania, what has been your personal favorite story? And if it is if it is the story itself, what is it besides that?
Um, I think there's been a lot of great stories, but after seeing that little thing, that little hype video with Chad Gable and Sami Zayn, that's really got me pumped up for Sami Zayn versus Gunther.
Yeah,
And also another like there's a few. The Bailey and Io, uh the Bailey and Io build up has been great. I mean, I think the only complaint I have is just how they did it with Dakota. Um, I think they could have like kind of led Bailey on a little longer. But
yeah,
also, I actually think that having Dakota having Dakota turn was needed for for the 6-man tag or the 6-woman tag that's going to be happening. So honestly, I think it's fine in the long run, and it's just fine because how they did the Io and Bailey, they did it perfectly. So I think it'll be like I think it was perfectly fine with how they did it with Dakota.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of what you're saying is making a lot of sense to me. So Hype is here in the comments. He would like to know what's your least favorite story going into WrestleMania. Good question. I like that.
Um, I think my least favorite is probably it may be the
It
Dragon
doesn't even.
Lee.
Okay, I was gonna say it doesn't even have to be that you hate it. It just could be more like I don't like care that this is happening or I don't understand why this is happening. But it sounded like you was leading to something. Go ahead.
I think it's the Dragon Lee, Rey Mysterio, and then Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. I
Can
felt
you kind of
like
break
they
that
kind
down
of
a little
were
bit?
trying to, huh?
Can you break that down a little bit?
I felt like they were trying to. I felt like they were trying to lead something with Santos and Ray only, and then they were gonna do Santos and Carlito, and then I feel like they're just kind of throwing Santos around, and I don't think that's good. And also having Dominic in a tag team match with somebody who he hasn't like been in a tag team with before. I don't know. I feel like I think they could have done this better with either just doing either doing like it could have been like a triple threat between, like actually a fatal four way between all of them, would have been good, or even just a rerun of Dom versus Ray, or just Santos versus Ray. But I understand why they threw Dragon Lee in there because it's the newest LWO member. But I don't know. I just feel like it's been kind of. I feel like it was kind of confusing.
Yeah, it feels weird that Dominic isn't like really handling Judgment Day business at WrestleMania. I mean, is that
Yeah, I
weird or
mean, what are
what?
they gonna do with what are they gonna do with JD?
I don't even know. Like where he has literally no role in WrestleMania, like unless he comes out and helps out the Judgment Day in the ladder match or something. I don't know.
Hmm.
Like he's got
Oh,
no role.
also that the thing that you told me with the whole you have to grab one title and then the match continues and then you have to grab the other title. I think that's really
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I
for
think we're
sure.
finally gonna see splitting of the tag team titles. And those are the like the only titles I need to be split up in the like the only titles I need to be split up in the company right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think the
I
undisputed universal ones, I think it's fine now with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, I think having two titles for each brand or a title for a brand is good. I don't have no problem with that, especially since we have different general managers and stuff like that. Hype's question before, and then we're going to go ahead and get into this prediction show. What do you think is next for the Judgment Day?
I think after WrestleMania, I think that they should retain their Raw tag team titles, but also I don't know because I think that Damien needs to successfully cash in at WrestleMania.
Me too. I've been saying it on the show. Yep.
Yeah, so I think that they could either just completely take both titles off of Judgment Day, or they could just have them retain one title while
And
having
lose the
the
other.
yeah.
Okay.
And I think that after that, if they lose the titles, I think they could just have Damien just be the World Heavyweight Champion and just have Finn go for like the IC title or something. And I think that would be perfectly fine. But also I don't know it well they could do something with JD and Dom where they have them tag for a little bit and like try to like redeem Damien and Finn.
Yeah, by going for the tag titles.
Yeah. But I think I know we're gonna get into it later, but I think Rhea might retain, so I
Okay.
think she should go after WrestleMania. I think she should go into a program with Liv Morgan.
Oh yeah, I think that we've been talking on the show for a while that Liv Morgan needs to be up next and needs to continue her personal story that she has with Rhea Ripley. So we're definitely going to get into that, but we talked a little bit about that. We talked everything about these matches, and you had some thoughts on the Judgment Day, and you had some thoughts on Rhea and stuff like that. Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. You want to go ahead and jump right into this prediction show?
Yep.
All right, let's go ahead and do it. So, WrestleMania 40 going down in Philadelphia Saturday and Sunday night. We're going to talk a couple of matches here. Of course, we have NXT Stand and Deliver. We're not going to do every match on Stand and Deliver, but I will throw it in there. But for right now, we're going to talk WrestleMania Saturday, and then we'll bring some NXT probably in the middle between Saturday and Sunday for you guys out there. Before we go ahead and get started, and I ask my dog over here about his predictions on the first match, and then I'll give mine. I want to remind you guys here that we are going to be on the podcast version here on Apple and on Spotify. And also make sure that you are hitting the follow button on those applications. I got to tell you guys, remind you guys, because we want to make sure that you guys are getting notifications when we are dropping episodes, because I want to make sure that you guys are getting everything that we're throwing out there. You know, I know some of you listeners are saying, hey, I haven't been getting the podcast version. Make sure you got to hit that follow button. You got to hit that follow button in order to get notifications. So also, we have our commercials here in the show, and I know commercials are annoying. I hate them too, but they really help this show financially. So if you do get to the commercial portion of this show, even if you fast forward it times one, times two, instead of skipping it, it really does help this show financially just a little bit. So I wanted to throw that in there real quick, and we're going to jump in here and get right into it. I'm going to ask about the first match here. And yeah, the first match I have here on my list actually is the match that you alluded to. We kind of saw who you or heard who you picked, but Women's World Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Rhea Ripley. Who do you got and why?
I have Rhea Ripley, and I believe that because I feel like if Liv wasn't like there, I feel like Becky would be the one because I feel like us as fans we've been talking about Becky and Rhea for months now. I mean, I remember like talking about it like back in like October when we went to Fastlane. I remember talking about that on the trip there, and we've talked about it almost every trip since. And I feel like they've done a good job of I feel like if they've done a good job of keeping them away from each other. But now I think that them having this match at WrestleMania 40, I feel like it's going to be a good quality match because there are two good wrestlers, and I feel like I just think that Becky just I don't know. I don't think she should be the one to dethrone Rhea. With how Rhea is right now, she's on top. Mommy's on top. And I think that it needs to stay that way until like the next like SummerSlam or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I for this one, I'm gonna agree with you, man. I think it's Rhea Ripley. I've thought about this back and forth a lot, but I haven't made any official picks, and this is a prediction show, so I have to give an official pick. I'm saying it's Rhea Ripley. I just Becky and B York says it here. Becky isn't focused enough, and I'm gonna have to agree with that. Like she's very much emotional. She's very much out of sorts, in terms of that. And I really think that it's an opportunity for Rhea Ripley to take advantage of that. I also feel like there's a further story to be told here, as we alluded to with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan, I feel like, is starting to connect that dot that I've always criticized her for on this show for a long time. When I said there's a lot of things that make sense. She's a pretty girl. She knows how to wrestle. She's not a bad wrestler or anything like that. And she's solid enough on promos. But like, why do I care about Liv Morgan? That was literally the only missing piece that I had with her. And now she has this revenge tour that she's trying to get to Rhea Ripley. And I'm like, okay, I care because you have a legitimate beef. This is her story. So like, yeah, I think there's a further story to be told where Rhea Ripley is going to retain, and we see somewhere down the line what happens with that. So we'll move on to the other match here on this card that I have on this list here that I have in front of me. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. What do you think? Who do you got?
I think it's gotta be Dom and Santos. After this, I don't know. I don't know what's next for Dom because like they put him in this weird situation where if he beats Ray, he's not beating Ray by himself. He's beating Ray with Santos. And I think that's really weird for him because it should have either just been Ray or it should have been just been Dom or just been Santos. And I think that Dom and Dom and Santos are gonna win because I think that we could see a there. I've been like reading, and a lot of people think that Carlito is gonna turn heel on Ray,
Can
and
do it at WrestleMania.
yeah, I could see that, but I don't know. But I could also see Dom and Dom and Santos winning that by some shenanigans, or honestly, I don't see them winning clean, especially against especially when there's Dragon Lee in this match. But I think that Ray's got to take the pin.
I feel it. I hear you. And, I look at this match, and we talked about on the show about how the match is kind of like thrown together. So it's kind of tough to call on that one. For me, I feel like they might be investing money in Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee having a moment together standing tall. Rey Mysterio kind of nodding to him as the next big masked wrestler. On this one, I could see Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee actually beating Dominic Mysterio and Santos Escobar. Dominic Mysterio is not handling any Judgment Day business. Santos Escobar, I think it doesn't kill him to take this loss right now because I think there's still more of a story to be told with Santos Escobar and his stable. I think it's Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee who stands tall in this match, and they have that passing of the torch moment at WrestleMania 40.
Only reason I had Dom and Santos is because I just don't see Dom losing to Ray twice in a row at WrestleMania.
Who knows? It's definitely going to be, and that's what I like about the WrestleMania is that I don't know. Like we're doing this prediction show, and I gotta be, I guess, confident with my picks, but like it's hard to be super confident because this is a very, in my opinion, unpredictable WrestleMania that we're walking into. And this is next match here is a match that's been a little polarizing here on this show. With actually all three of us, myself, Hype, and P, when we get together, and that's the Intercontinental Championship match, Sami Zayn versus Gunther. Who do you got winning this match?
Honestly, I don't know, cause I could see them doing something like having Gunther retain and then lose to Chad Gable, or I could see them having Sammy win and then having that between Sammy and Gable. But I'm not sure. It's really hard to tell, and I don't know if I can give you a clear answer because it I it's just gonna it's definitely gonna be one of the best matches on the card. I feel like you put Gunther in a match, it's always gonna be one of the best in the card. But I don't know who's gonna win.
Yeah, it's tough to tell. It's tough to tell. This is a prediction show. You're supposed to be giving decisive answers.
If I
that
have to
nothing.
give you an answer, I would have to say I think that Gunther's retaining.
Okay. Okay. I like this idea here by Hype. Gable's gonna throw in the towel for Sammy during the match, and
I see that.
that would be a good idea. But I think, like, if I have to say here, I'd say Gunther retains. I just don't think Sammy is good enough to tell the underdog story, but this is not his story, man. And they're still keeping Gable like somewhat involved. That leads me to believe that they are gonna keep the title on Gunther, and then Gable's gonna get his next shot somewhere down the line. There's a bigger story to be told with Gable here, and even if it leads to a triple threat, maybe at the next show, or maybe even at Money in the Bank between those three, because this would spark Gable to turn heel if he did that for Sammy. He's like, oh, I did it to save you from yourself, or I did it because it was the right thing to do. But the whole time is he didn't want Sammy to have that satisfaction of doing something that he couldn't do, and that's beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship belt. But yeah, I'm gonna go Gunther. It's definitely going to be very interesting there. But we're gonna move on here to the next match, and this is gonna be a big one here. I'm surprised they're doing this on Saturday. I really thought they would have done it on Sunday, but it's Jey Uso versus Jimmy Uso. Which Uso do you got?
Uh, I think it's got to be Jay.
You think it's gonna be Jey? So Yeet.
Yeet.
Okay, so no Yeet.
No, no, yeet.
Okay, all right. Why you think it's gonna be Jey?
I feel like how they built up Jay. If they do like I think it's too late to do a stipulation on the match. Because I thought they were going to do a Bloodlines rules match, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But the way that Jey Uso has been in this past, like, since SummerSlam, in that match against Roman, and then he won the titles at Fastlane with Cody. I think he's on a whole nother level. So I think he's gonna beat Jimmy, and especially since Jimmy had the upper hand, like all those times, especially like when he lost the when he lost to Gunther, and like all the times he's got beat down by him in Solo.
Yeah, it's been a lot of beatdowns, and I could see why you would say it would lead him to a victory. And man, it's and B York makes a good point here. He says they've made Jay too cool, and Slimeball Jimmy got to get something. That's a good point. That's a good point. I really do. And it's here's the thing. I really feel like Jay's at a point where he doesn't need to like he doesn't hurt from taking the loss to Jimmy. But let's think about it here for a second. Let's rewind. They call Jey Uso main event Jey Uso for a reason. He call him that for an absolute reason, because since like the pandemic era, he's just been putting out banger match after banger match, showing up consistently, telling his story, putting in that work. And Jimmy, let's face it, Jimmy was out for a lot of time, and they've told a great story while Jimmy's been out the long time that Jimmy was out on injury, and Jay was able to get it. So he won't really hurt from taking a loss to Jimmy, because Jimmy, like B York said, got to get something. But I feel like Jay's going to come out of this and stand tall and be like, hey, I might be the little brother, but you're going to have to acknowledge me. And I just feel like that's going to be a big moment for them. And there's even a possibility we can see a reconciliation between those two, which maybe can lead to what's going to happen in the Bloodline rules match the next night. I mean, a million things can happen if the Bloodline rules match actually happens. That's why I'm loving so much about this WrestleMania, is that there's implications on night one that directly affect night two, that keeps things fresh even for the next 24 hours between shows. It's good. I love it. It's really good stuff. But man, and B York says Jay left the Bloodline and Wood tag titles and been on this main event run and everything. Good point. Left Jimmy in the shadows. Basically, we got to show the twins are equal, man. And there's a rising suspicion here that Jimmy could win, but I'm gonna stand on it and I'm gonna say yeet. And main event Jey Uso is going to take it. It's going to be a movie. This is going to be a great, great show that we're talking about. I'm getting excited just talking about it. And I'm very excited, Alajuwon, because you know me. You know my favorite match stipulation, right?
Yep, it's a ladder match.
It's a ladder match, right? Yeah, man. Love me a good ladder match. So I'm excited to talk about this match because what you brought up earlier, what I had told you, the six-pack challenge ladder match for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championships, DIY versus Awesome Truth versus The New Day versus New Catch Republic versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory versus the champions, the Judgment Day. I want to throw this out here for you, because and you guys out there, Hype, or anybody else out there that's listening right now, let me know what's up. I heard that Grayson Waller and Austin Theory are not going to participate in this match. Is that what's going on? Is that the truth? Because there's raising suspicion that the Hardy Boys might come in and take that spot. It's been heavily rumored that the Hardy Boys are going to try to show up for this WrestleMania and hop into that ladder match. Yeah, that's just what it is. So I just wanted to throw that element in there for you. OG Tony saying the best father and son team in the business. We appreciate that, bro. That's you and your son, though. That's you and Chris. You guys been out there doing it for a long time. But who do you got in this ladder match? What do you see happening?
If they decide to retain Judgment Day, I think they could give the other titles to DIY, or they could give them to the New Catch Republic, and then have DIY like go like on SmackDown or something. But then if they just decide to do the whole like taking the titles completely, I think it's gonna be DIY wins the Raw ones and New Catch Republic winning the SmackDown ones.
Okay, so did you say DIY wins the Raw ones
Yeah,
and New Catch Republic wins the SmackDown ones?
yeah. Or if they have um Judgment Day retain, I think that DIY is gonna win the SmackDown ones.
Okay. I It's a lot here. There's a lot of moving parts here, Alajuwon, because like the Hardys return. Are they going I don't know if they're gonna throw the Hardys in there and give them the titles right away. I could definitely see them splitting the titles up with DIY getting one title, and then it's hard. This is hard. This is really hard. And maybe even the other titles go to New Catch Republic for SmackDown, but then the New Day, they're not as over as they used to be. They're kind of more like just there. Not saying, but it's like almost a nostalgia act now at this point with the New Day, and I hate to say it because that's how it feels. I just don't feel like they need the titles. Grayson Waller and
Yeah, and
Austin
I feel
Theory.
like if there's talks about the Hardys replacing A-Town Down Under or whatever, I don't think that they even had it in their plans to have them win.
Yeah, it's hard telling, man. It's hard telling. So I'll guess because we got to put it out there. So I'm gonna say DIY Raw Tag Team Champions, and man, this is so hard because I feel like Truth deserves a title, but like the way things are moving, I just don't know. Uh, New Catch Republic SmackDown Tag Team Champions. There,
I
we'll
don't think
just
I don't think it's realistic to. I don't think I would say I would see we would see Truth and Miz win a ladder match. I would see if it's like just a normal tag match, but I don't think they need to win a ladder match.
I don't know, man. I think about the run that Truth has been on and all the reactions that he gets when he comes out. And it's like, man, it's hard to think about not giving him a title for that run that he's had. But once again, with the way everything's moving, I think this tag team division's going in a different direction. I do see the titles getting split. I don't see the Judgment Day winning the championships because I do feel like that Damian Priest and Finn Balor kind of start to do their own thing. It also backs up my idea that Damian is going to lose the tag titles and then retaliate by cashing in at night 2 to become the World Heavyweight Champion. I don't see them coming out with any titles. So DIY Raw Tag Team Champions, New Catch Republic, SmackDown Tag Team Champions, and we get a different focus on the tag team division individually between those two titles split up, because there's a lot of teams out there that these can benefit from being tag champions. So yeah, that's what I
Yeah, and
think.
I don't know what night this match is on, but I think two teams that like for sure have like deserve a tag team champions on SmackDown is it's a six-man match, and I think it's in a Philadelphia what is it, street fight.
Yeah,
And
yeah. You're
it's
talking about
the
the
Final
Pride,
Testament versus what's Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits?
the Pride.
The Pride, yeah. And I feel like that match is gonna be interesting because I think having a stipulation to that match, especially how long because of how long they've been kind of feuding, and they've been feuding for probably like 2 months now. Yeah, probably around 2 months because of the return of Authors of Pain. I think that's gonna be a good match, and it's gonna be like the showcase match last year. I think it's gonna be an underrated match.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I definitely agree that I think it's going to be an underrated, and we're going to talk more about it. But this tag match is going to be great. I'm excited for it, and It's going to be great for night one of WrestleMania. But we got to move on here, man, and go to this other match here, which is going to be Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi versus Damage Control, the Kabuki Warriors, and Dakota Kai. Who do you got?
Um, I think that Jade, Naomi and Bianca gotta take that. Especially like how they were pushing them on the last episode of SmackDown and having them all standing there. I think we could see something that I think we could see something where they team up and win do this match, and I think next year at WrestleMania 40 match or WrestleMania 41, I think we could see like a fatal four way between those three and also like Mercedes Moné because honestly, I don't think Mercedes Moné is going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be a while for sure, and it's going to be a great night. A great vibe. You talk about the end of SmackDown. Yeah, I think it's Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair, and Naomi. Damage Control can take the loss and be fine with it. And I gotta
Especially
agree. I
since they're
believe.
woman tag team champions.
Yeah, and B York said it right. Bad weekend to be in Damage Control because I think it's gonna be tough. It is gonna be a tough night for him. But man, I gotta tell you, I think that you can't have Jade have her debut match and lose. It's just not gonna happen. Bianca Belair's in there. She's a huge name in the company. I don't see her losing at WrestleMania. Naomi, who has come back, and people had some thoughts about matches that she lost, and she's I've said it on the show already a couple of times because it just irks me that people would have one match where Naomi takes a good loss to somebody as good as Tiffany Stratton, and you're saying that she's jobbing on SmackDown after having a great run on TNA. Come on, man. It's crazy to say that. Now she's gonna get another victory at WrestleMania with Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair by her side. I think Damage Control goes down, and that's just how I feel about it. But man, we have the last match here for the night, and that is Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins versus The Rock and Roman Reigns. They're calling it the biggest tag match ever, and of course, it has heavy implications going into night two. Olajuwon, who do you got in the main event of night one?
I think we're gonna see Rock and Roman win because I feel like it needs to be Rock and Roman because after I feel like to spice the main event up, I feel like it needs to be a bloodline rules match, and I think that's kind of necessary, especially with all the backgrounds in it, all the Jay and Jimmy, all the Solo, Seth, all this Rock stuff. I think we need to see a bloodline rules match.
Yeah, I agree. I think you need to see a bloodline rules match. I think that there needs to be more on the line uh, for this match on night two, and we're definitely going to talk about it when we get to that point. And we're going to talk about night two. What is Hype talking about here? He's saying, "What flavor prime do you think your dad will like?" We're going to have him answer that question here in a little bit. And the real question is going to be, what flavor do you think Hype should be drinking? But we'll get there. We're going to get there here on this episode of In Your House. And we're having a great episode here. I got my son here, the young prodigy, Alajuwon Howse, coming in and talking WrestleMania with me. And we're going to enjoy WrestleMania as we're going to have a fun night one. And then we're going to have a chilled out night two. Where there's gonna be we're just gonna be chilling, y'all. At night one, we're gonna have friends over. Night two is just gonna be us, the family, checking it out and seeing everything that comes from WrestleMania. And the fallout's gonna be great too. We're just a great vibe all together, man. And we have our matches here that we had on night one. But I want to sidebar a little bit here, real quick, and ask you a couple of thoughts on some key matches for NXT Stand and Deliver. And we'll just keep it at the title matches, and then we'll keep it at the main event here really quick. You don't have to go too deep into it because we still have night two to talk about of WrestleMania, but I'll just spitfire them at you real quick and you'll give me an answer and just some thoughts. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right, so we'll start here. NXT North American Championship match, Obafemi versus Dijak versus Josh Briggs. Who do you got?
Obafemi.
Me too, Obafemi. I just see Obafemi retaining it and standing tall that night at Stand,
If it's not
or that day at
Obafemi,
Stand
it's got to
Deliver.
be Dijak.
Yeah, anybody but Josh Briggs for reasons we don't need to talk about right now. But NXT Tag Team Championship match, the Wolf Dogs, and of course that's Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin. Yeah, against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Who do you got?
If it was anybody else, I think that they're losing the titles, but I think that the Wolf Dogs are retaining.
Okay, I say that Axiom and Nathan Frazier is going to win the titles. And the reason I feel that way is because you already have Braun Breaker, who signed a SmackDown contract. I think we're going to see him a lot less on NXT. So that's my reason why. But we'll move on to the NXT. Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Because I can't see them losing clean to them.
Yeah, man, that's just, and that's I agree with you, but I do feel like Axiom and Nathan Frazier will come away with them. NXT Women's Championship match, Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez. Who do you got?
I think it's time for Lyra Valkyria to drop the title.
Yeah, I think it's Roxanne Perez.
Reign,
yep.
But I think it's time for Roxanne Perez to win.
I agree. Roxanne Perez. NXT Championship match, Ilya Dragunov versus Tony D'Angelo. Who do you got?
I think that Ilya retains.
Me too. I agree. And yeah, I agree. I just think that Ilya retains. As much as I like Tony D'Angelo and he's grown on me, I don't see him. I just don't see him winning the title right now. I truly don't. All right, so the main event for NXT Stand and Deliver, Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes. Who do you got?
I think it's going to be Trick.
Think Trick stands tall in this one?
Yeah, and I think that this is going to be Carmelo's last Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, I know you talked about that before the show. We talked a little bit about that. I think you actually said it last night. We were out and about doing some things, and you kind of brought it up, I believe. But yeah, I do believe Trick stands tall. He needs that moment. Carmelo will not get hurt from the loss. He initiated the turn. Now he's got to get his comeuppance. Trick Williams is going to stand tall in the main event of Stand and Deliver, and he's going to be an even bigger star than he already is. Man, talking about all this great wrestling and here talking to you, my son, my homie, love you so much. It's getting me excited for wrestling. We're gonna have to play a little WWE 2K after this. How's that sound?
That sounds great.
Yeah, man. We'll do that after this.
Fun.
Oh man, yes, it's a blast. We both love it. If you guys enjoy it, I know P on the show here, the Emerge World Heavyweight Champion, he started playing it. He's enjoying it. Yes, anytime I get a chance to play with my man over here, we have a great time, have great matches, and I'm off the next couple of days, so we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight and just chill out and kick back and just enjoy the time together. My son's on break. I took a couple of days off to be with the family. I just want to chill out, and that's why we're having a great time with y'all out there in the household. You guys out there giving us 5 stars and whatnot, and we appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Myself, I appreciate that. My co-producer and co-host, Hypocrisy Jones, our co-host, Paragon, our guy over here, co-host and videographer for Emerge, Alajuwon, he appreciates y'all giving us 5 stars and whatnot. And let's keep it going. Give us those 5 stars. Give us those reviews. We really appreciate y'all. And yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna push on to night 2. You ready for a little bit of night 2, Olajuwon?
Yup.
All right, let's get it cracking then. Let's go. All right. So the first one on the list here, I got a lot of thoughts about this. And you listeners already know, World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth freaking Rollins versus Drew McIntyre for that World Heavyweight Championship match. Who do you got, Olajuwon?
It's gonna be Seth Rollins is gonna win that match. We're gonna get that final curb stomp, and then we're gonna hear do no no no.
Yes, you know.
I think because
You know.
I already heard what you said multiple times. I think what you said with the whole having Damian Priest have the like heist of the century on the person who had the original heist of the century.
Yes,
I
yes,
think
sir.
that needs to happen, and I love Seth Rollins. Trust me. Hold on. If anybody loves Seth Rollins, more than like nobody loves Seth Rollins more than me. I met the dude. I
Oh, is
literally
that
met
you
the
and
dude.
Seth? That's you and Seth Rollins, huh?
Yeah,
Oh, yes, I remember that. I
yeah.
remember
I
that.
literally met the dude. But I think it's I think his title run is it needs to come to an end. And I think the perfect way to do that with not making him look weak and still leading to a great match at like a SummerSlam or something is to have him about to pin Drew and about to win that match, and then Damien cash in, and then we get something like Damien versus like Drew getting heated, and then Seth getting heated, and then it just ends up to like a triple threat at SummerSlam or something.
A lot of possibilities, a whole lot of possibilities. I think it's I think it's Seth and Damian Priest cashing. What more do I need to say for the listeners that listen to this show on a regular basis? I've said it a million times. There's really no reason for me to run it more into the ground when everybody knows how I feel. Seth wins, Damian cashes in. So, I could go into a whole spiel about why I feel the way I feel, but if you've listened to the old episodes, you guys know why. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Seth wins, retains, Damien cashes in. All right, let's move on here. Olajuwon, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Who do you got?
I think it's vital for Knight to win this. LA Knight didn't get his WrestleMania moment last year, and I feel like AJ Styles have got those moments this year, especially with being the one who Seth Rollins beat to win the World Heavyweight Championship originally. I think over this year, AJ Styles has really got that kind of not push, but he's gotten those looks, and I think it's time for LA Knight to get those looks now. And he's been over with the fans for forever, and I just think it's time. I just think it's time to give him a good win and an important win.
I really like how you put that. Like you said, get those looks. I like that terminology. I agree with you. I think we've seen a lot of AJ Styles since his debut all those years ago at the Royal Rumble. He's had great reigns, and he's the last. He holds the privilege of being the last Undertaker match. Like AJ Styles has had a lot of moments. I think this is a year where AJ Styles can give, and I think AJ Styles will give by giving LA Knight, yeah, that
Yeah,
win at WrestleMania 40. This is a match that a lot of people are not super excited for. They've tried to get hype up with these segments where LA Knight is showing up to AJ Styles' house and cops are getting called, and I appreciate the effort, I really do. But I think a lot of people just aren't invested in this match. And for those people who are saying that, I'll say you have every right to feel how you feel, but watch what they do. For real. I really feel like you got to watch what AJ Styles and LA Knight are going to do. These aren't slouches. These are guys. You got one who's a TNA original, one who had a great run in TNA. Of course, you already know about the work that AJ Styles has done with the Bullet Club, with Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and then him finally coming over to WWE. And then you also think about somebody like LA Knight, who was Eli Drake, and in great runs with NWA and great runs with TNA. So yeah, a lot of these aren't slouches going into this match. I know there's not a lot on the line, but I promise you this match is one that you're going to want to watch because it's going to be a great professional wrestling match between two great professional wrestlers. So I say LA Knight, it's going to be his night to win. And now it's time to get to this one. You see a lot of chatter here. Let me bring these back here. You got this guy saying Hollywood about to be down in the prime. Austin Cohen saying the pink, blue, and red are all fire. Asking what flavor prime do you think your dad will like? This is ridiculous. And of course, we got to talk about the match here, and that is going to be Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship match. Before we get into that match, and I give my thoughts, what color prime, what flavor prime do you think Hypocrisy Jones will like the most?
I'll give you my opinion on who I think is gonna be, drinking that prime. But I think that a good flavor for you guys to try is that new what is it? Strawberry banana one or whatever it is.
Strawberry banana. What?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, and one
Okay.
more thing before we start. I just gotta say one more thing about the LA Knight and AJ Styles thing. I feel
Okay.
like the buildup is kind of similar to how they had it with Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho a few years back. But I think the fans kind of connected more with the Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens match.
Okay. Okay.
That's the last
So
thing I had to say about that.
gotcha. Okay. So who do you think's coming up? What's your thoughts on the United States title match? Who do you got?
I think both of you guys are going to be drinking prime because
Wait,
I think that
what?
Randy Orton's going to win.
Really? What?
Yes.
What? Talk to me. Why do you think that?
I think it's time for Randy to have championship gold again. I think that how they've tried holding him from Rollins and also from Reigns, and I think there's no reason for him to go for Reigns because Cody's good. We'll talk about it more later, but I think Cody's gonna still dethrone Roman. But I think that give him a pretty good U.S. title reign, and then put him in like a feud with like Cody later in the line. But I think he can definitely. I think he can win that title and just kind of escalate it a little bit because I mean Randy Orton is still one of the greatest wrestlers to ever do it in the WWE. So I
No,
think
yep, I do not, no arguments here.
having him as a champion, I think would really escalate the title, especially since the U.S. title is kind of the weakest title out of like all of the men's titles. Um, I mean, when you have somebody like Gunther being the longest reigning champion, IC title or IC champion, and then having Roman Reigns being the longest reigning modern era world champion, and then having a guy like Seth Rollins be the world heavyweight champion. I mean, this dude
Yep.
was literally on every show last year,
Yep.
and I
Yeah.
think he was on. I don't think he's been on a show this year yet. Well, I don't know, but because he wasn't on Royal Rumble, well, was he on Elimination Chamber? Oh yeah, he did that segment with Cody Rhodes and stuff on the Grayson
Yeah.
Waller effect.
Yeah. He was on the show,
But
but he didn't wrestle on the card.
he wrestled every match last year. Every match on a card on a premium live event last year. So I think that like Logan Paul I love what Logan Paul does with this title, and I think that he does great things with the whole like sponsoring and the social stuff. But I think it's time to put it on somebody like Randy Orton, and I think it'll do better things.
You got hype saying I like you, little house. Man, when you can have us both drinking the prime, this is ridiculous. It's gonna be Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens is great, and Kevin Owens is gonna get me that opportunity to get this man over here that you see here in the comments to drink that prime because I'm thinking he's gonna have an ice pop, get him a little popsicle, that he can have there, and it'll be great for him. It's just gonna be great
Maybe
for
I
him.
should try a prime. I've never tried a prime.
I haven't tried one either, and I don't plan on it. I mean, it is the United States Championship, red, white, and blue, perfect ice pop for you there, hype. It's gonna be
How
great.
about this? If Randy Orton wins, all three of us drink a prime.
What? Why are you putting yourself under the bus like this for? You don't have to
Cause
do this.
I wanna taste the prime.
What?
Hey,
Uh,
I'm a Logan Paul fan.
what? Yeah, fine. You know what? First off, you need to pack your stuff up, get out the house. But yeah, okay, fine. If you really want to, if Randy Orton wins, I'll get your prime. How about that?
Yeah.
You're a bum, dude. All right, let's keep going here. We're having a great time here in your house. It's been a blast so far, but we still got a couple matches to talk about. You talked a little bit earlier about this one, the Philadelphia Street Fight, the Pride versus the Final Testament. Who do you got?
Um, I think that I think the Pride needs this because weeks and weeks, the Final Testament's just kind of been beating the crap out of the Pride, and I
Yeah.
think I dang, you really had to say that hype?
He
Crazy.
said body
A
armor.
body armor? That's crazy. But I think I think especially since Bobby Lashley didn't get his WrestleMania moment last year either. I think
Yeah.
he deserves a WrestleMania moment.
I agree. I really feel like for somebody like Karrion Cross, who I speak highly of Karrion Cross. I like his mind for the business. I like him bringing the authors of pain. I like him having Paul Ellering there with Scarlett. Like he's trying to build something. There's something about Karrion Cross that I think is special for real. I really do think that Karrion Cross is special and he's got a bright future. But I think for them, the victory is just being there. I got to agree with you as far as Bobby Lashley not getting his WrestleMania moment last year or even opportunity. It's nobody's fault. I'm not blaming anybody because this is around the time everything happened with Bray Wyatt. And to anybody who might ask, no, I haven't watched the documentary yet. I was probably planning on watching it tonight with my wife, but yeah, I've already seen what a lot of people are saying about it, and it's probably going to be tough to watch. But out of respect for Bray, I was going to go ahead and do it. But once again, like I said, nobody's fault about last year, but he did deserve to at least be on the card and have a moment. So I do believe Bobby Lashley is going to win with the Street Profits, and the Pride are going to stand tall as well. So that's what I think about that. And we'll move on to the next match and a lot of implications. This is probably, besides, of course, the story, this is possibly WWE's most invested storyline that they've been doing for a long time now, and that's the WWE Women's Championship match between Bayley and Io Sky. Olajuwon, who do you got?
I think it's got to be Bayley. I mean, um, what's your name? Io's had a really great run ever since SummerSlam. She's been holding the title and having great matches against Asuka, having great matches against Mia Yim, um, against Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair. I mean, pretty much everybody she's had a match against, she's had a pretty good match against. And I think that this match is gonna go pretty good, especially with the good build up and having the fans behind Bayley. I think I think Bayley like having that WrestleMania moment again is gonna be great. And I think it's possible that we get just the total like destruction of Damage Control after this. Um, but yeah,
That's interesting, man. This has been a tough one for me because of where my mind's been at, and of course, I think it makes sense for Bailey to have that WrestleMania moment. I really do. I really truly do, and I've championed Bailey for a while, but I gotta tell you, for some reason, I think Io Sky is going to retain the championship, and I believe that we're going to see a dominant run of Damage Control, at least leading up to SummerSlam. And I think there's still a bigger story to be told with Damage Control that doesn't have to end at WrestleMania. I think that Io Sky can establish herself as the leader and champion of Damage Control, and we don't see everything vaporize and go away for Damage Control. Actually, we see them get stronger than ever, and that's when you have to have uh, reinforcements there. Of course, Bailey of having the story where nobody is trusting her really. Well, now you have this growing stable here between Naomi and Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and boom, there you go, right there you're even in the odds. So I think there's still a bigger story to be told with Bianca Belair gaining Bailey's trust. I think that you're going to see Damage Control kind of pick each one of those women apart one by one for the next few weeks. And that's going to lead uh, Bianca Belair to be like, listen, I'm tired of getting beat up. I know you're tired of getting beat up, Bailey. I don't completely like you, but I'm gonna back you up. I trust you. And I think there'll be a bigger story that'll lead to SummerSlam, and that's when we'll see the true uh, dissension and destruction of Damage Control. So that's just my thoughts on it. I will say that I won't be mad if Bailey wins. Absolutely not. I won't be mad. But I got to go with where my mind is going here, and I do see Io retaining and Damage Control getting stronger than ever for the next few months. And now that leads us to the main event. That leads us to the final match. And we talk about final matches. We talk about final bosses. We talk about Roman Reigns. We talk about the tribal chief. We talk about the American Nightmare. We talk about Cody Rhodes. We talk about Bloodline Rules, because at this point, since we've already made our predictions, Olajuwon, we've both predicted that by this point, it is going to be Bloodline Rules, because we both said that The Rock and Roman were going to win. We both said the tribal chief and the final boss are going to win on night one. So now I have to throw it at you, Olajuwon. Main event. You've been riding on this ride for a long time. The story, this is probably one of the biggest WrestleMania stories in your young life, and everything that I've been watching you and watching you progress as a fan in real time. Who do you think is winning the main event of the biggest WrestleMania ever, WrestleMania 40, for the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, faces off against the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes and a Bloodline Rules match? Who do you got?
um, I think I think it's finally done for Roman's title reign, and I think we're gonna see Roman take control a lot in the match, especially having The Rock, Solo, and Jimmy. And even with all of Cody's help, he still doesn't have enough help for all three of those people. He only has two. Um, I think we could see something where we don't see Seth or Jay at all in the night, and like till the last moments of the match, where where Cody's about to hit that Cody. Crossroad Trinity, and we see Solo again, but then we see, like, instead of him finally um him finally like just hitting the spike, I think he's gonna get stopped by it could be by anybody, honestly. It could be by Seth, it could be by Jay. I mean, we could even see returning John Cena, because it makes sense because Solo did take out John Cena. So I wouldn't be mad if we see something like John Cena, take Solo out, like Seth take out Rock, and then Jay take out Jimmy, and then and then Cody finally hit that those three crossroads, and then that'd be the match and new.
Yeah, man. I've been saying it for a while, so there's no reason for me to try to be hip or trendy and go back on it now. I still say it's Cody Rhodes, man. I still say that it's Cody. I know my man Hype here. His story is he wants Roman Reigns to break Hogan's record. And let me ask you, Olajuwon, come on, let's be real here. What do you think about Hulk Hogan?
I think very well how I feel about Hulk Hogan.
I know exactly how you feel about Hulk Hogan, but with that being said, and we both know what it is, I just feel like the timing for Cody is now. I really feel he's never gonna. I just don't feel like you can make him a bigger star than what he is now. If you're gonna go ahead and you're going to, if you're gonna blow that load, you got to do it at WrestleMania 40 Night 2. I think it's Cody Rhodes.
I mean, the dude's literally doing gender reveals for people.
He is. He is. He's being the best
He's
man at
being
their
people's
weddings and stuff. This
best
guy's a
man,
politician, man. He's a politician for sure.
bro. He's current day Cena, bro.
Doing all that work. So, yeah,
If you don't
I
think
feel
he's
like
current day Cena, you're crazy.
I can see it. I can see it with all the charity. But when he turns heel, just wait. I can't wait for the time that he
Yeah,
turns heel. We're
I
going to
think
see a
for sure we're
completely
gonna
different
see him
Cody.
heel sometime.
Yeah, I agree. I'm ready to see that Cody Rhodes heel turn whenever that happens. But, man, I
But
got to tell
I
you,
think I think like he's gonna pursue an acting career too, and I think he's gonna be known for more than just wrestling and stuff, and I think he's also gonna he's gonna do that thing that Cena did and do all those like Make a Wish requests and everything.
yeah, I know you've
He's
been
gonna be
saying he's
a
going to be the next Make-A-Wish guy. I know you've been saying that.
yeah he's gonna become a staple name like when everybody hears John Cena, they're like, "Oh, you can't see me. Oh, I know that guy. Oh, he doesn't make a wish thing." But I think it's gonna be. I think Cody's next.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I also agree with what B York is saying. It's like maybe he won't be on the big screen because I just don't know if Cody I don't know if Cody has a face for movies and that's rough to say. I just don't think that he does. But definitely a Make-A-Wish guy for sure. For sure. For sure. But now this was a great episode, man. I know we've been talking about bringing you on when you get on a break and you finally got here and we had a great episode for sure, man. But so, of course, we got to slide out of here, call this an episode. We still got to do a few things. We got to chill out around the house and just, get a few things done and just hang out, just have a good day for the next couple of days till I go back to, the shoot job. But what do you got moving? Where can we catch you at next? What are you doing?
Shoot, I just be chilling mainly, but I mean, working on music still. I'm working on my debut album right now. I still got that song on Apple Music, Spotify. I put it on YouTube, like SoundCloud, pretty
And what's the
much
song
everywhere
called?
you
Let them
listen to
know. Let
music.
them know.
Uh, all you gotta type in is Alajuwon, just Alajuwon, like Hakeem Olajuwon, just replace the O with the A. And pretty much, you just search up Alajuwon, you'll find Dreams by Olajuwon. It should be just me and with that blue picture that says Dreams. So yeah,
Yes, man. Yeah, man. You're out there doing good stuff and
we're on
making
the road to
music.
100 plays.
There you go, right there. Almost getting to 100 plays. Of course, you do backstage stuff with Emerge as well. So I
Yup.
know you'll be pulling up to April Rain. That's April 13th. That's going to be great. So, he's
So
going to
any
be
other
doing.
companies hit me up.
He's like any other company, give him a chance. He's out there doing really good camera work, man. So appreciate you coming on. And yeah, next time I'll see you is probably in about 5 minutes when I end the show.
Yeah, probably.
All right, man. All right. So you guys already know the vibes. This was a really great episode. One last thank you to my guest, Alajuwon Howse. Check out everything that he is doing. But guys, you already know what I'm doing as well. And that is, of course, Emerge. That's going to be coming up here on April 13th. April Rain. It's going to be great. A lot of great matches featuring big time matches and a big time match. Justin Kyle faces Paragon, the Emerge World Heavyweight Champion, for said title, and that's going to be a big main event there. But as far as anything else, I'm here chilling, doing my thing. I'll be hanging out with Gotham here in a little bit. You guys see Gotham over there. He's vibing. He's a whole vibe. I love Gotham. But guys, you guys already know you guys can catch me at. That's at the Hollywood House on IG, Hollywood House on X, and on Facebook. And of course, this great podcast here at In Your House. You can catch them across all those social media platforms. And that's HOWSE. And the W stands for work. So you guys already know the vibes. Thank you again for coming. And of course, once again, hit follow, give us those 5 stars. We appreciate everything that you guys are doing to help this podcast move. And another thing you can do is tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone. Because household, we still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and great WrestleMania week. Enjoy it. Have a blast if you guys are flying out there. And if you guys are just enjoying it like we would at home, just have it be a great, great, great show. So you guys enjoy that. Peace.